Listen carefully, because what you're about to see isn't just another concert moment. It started like any other night, lights dimmed, the crowd screaming, thousands of phones in the air, fireworks painting the sky like nothing could go wrong. Everything felt perfect, controlled, predictable. But then, something shifted. You can actually feel it in the air. The energy changes. The noise drops, just for a second. And in that silence, something happens on stage that no one, not the fans, not the people filming, not even those standing right there, was ready for. At first, people thought it was part of the show. Then the reaction started. You see faces freeze. Hands covering mouths. Some fans screaming, others just standing there, completely stunned. Within seconds, clips start spreading, group chats explode, timelines refresh non-stop, and suddenly the entire internet is asking the same question. Wait, did that really just happen? And here's the craziest part. The cameras didn't cut away. Everything was captured. Every second. Every reaction. Every detail that people are still arguing about right now. What you're about to watch isn't just viral, it's unforgettable. So don't blink. Don't skip. Because the moment everyone is talking about is coming up next. The first thing you notice isn't the sound. It's the hesitation. For a split second, so small most people didn't catch it, the rhythm breaks. One step lands just a fraction too late. One glance lingers longer than it should. It's subtle, almost invisible. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. The music keeps going. The lights keep moving. But something underneath it all is no longer in sync. From the crowd, it still looks flawless. Thousands are screaming, waving, crying, living in the moment they waited months, maybe years, for. Fireworks burst above like nothing could touch this night. On the giant screen, every expression is magnified, every breath turned into something cinematic. And then, it happens. Not loud. Not explosive. But heavy. One of them steps forward, closer to the edge of the stage than planned. The kind of step that isn't choreographed. The kind that feels personal. His voice comes in, but it's different now, less polished, more raw. You can hear something slipping through the cracks. Not a mistake, something deeper. The others notice. You see it in their eyes first. A quick glance. A shift in posture. The smallest change in formation. They close in, subtly, instinctively, like they're trying to hold something together without anyone realizing it's falling apart. But the camera catches everything. And the audience starts to feel it. The screams don't stop, but they change. There's confusion now. Curiosity. Attention threading through the excitement. People are looking at each other, then back at the stage, then at their screens, as if trying to confirm what they're sensing is real. Because this isn't how it's supposed to go. This is supposed to be perfect. Untouchable. Controlled. But perfection is cracking, right there, under the lights. Another moment passes. Then another. And suddenly, the performance isn't just a performance anymore. It's something else. Something honest. Something dangerously close to the truth. One by one, the energy shifts across the stage. Movements soften. Smiles don't quite reach the eyes. There's a weight in the air now, thick enough to feel even from the back rows. You can almost hear the unspoken words pressing against the silence between lyrics. And then. A pause. Not part of the song. Not part of the script. Just a pause. Long enough to make hearts race. long enough for the entire stadium to hold its breath without even realizing it. In that suspended second, everything hangs on a single decision. Do they continue like nothing happened? Or do they let the moment break open completely? Because what comes next won't just define the performance. It will define how this night is remembered, by everyone who was there, and everyone who's about to see it. And the worst part? No one can stop it now. The moment refused to fade. It clung to every frame, every slowed-down replay, every sharpened screenshot dissected by millions who refused to believe in coincidence anymore. What seemed small at first, a glint of silver, a familiar curve of metal resting against skin, had already begun to fracture into something far bigger, something no one could fully explain, yet no one could ignore. The timeline spiraled. Within hours, the internet had split into two forces, those who insisted it meant nothing, and those who felt something deeper pulsing beneath the surface. But neutrality was dying fast. Because the more angles surfaced, the more undeniable it became that this wasn't just similarity. It was precision. The same piece, the same placement, the same quiet confidence in wearing it under a spotlight that misses nothing. And at the center of it all stood John Jungkook and Park Jimin, two figures who had spent years mastering the art of saying everything without saying anything. But this time, silence was louder than ever. Every movement was being reanalyzed. The way Jungkook adjusted his collar seconds before cameras flashed. The way Jimin tilted his head just slightly, as if aware, almost too aware, of what was visible and what wasn't. Tiny gestures, once meaningless, now carried weight. Because people weren't just watching anymore. They were searching. And then came the timestamps. Someone noticed the exact moment each appearance happened. The gap between them. The sequence. It wasn't random. It lined up too perfectly, almost like a message hidden in plain sight, designed to be seen only by those paying close enough attention. The theory threads multiplied, each one more intense than the last, pulling in years of archived footage, old interviews, forgotten details that suddenly felt relevant again. Patterns began to emerge. Moments that once passed quietly were now being resurrected, connected, woven into a narrative that refused to stay buried. A shared glance here. A mirrored accessory there. A timing too exact to dismiss. It was as if the past had been waiting for this exact trigger to reveal itself all at once. And still, neither of them said a word. No clarification. No denial. No attempt to redirect the storm that was growing faster by the minute. That absence of response only made things worse, or better, depending on who was watching. Because in a world where every move is calculated, silence is never empty. It's chosen. The tension escalated when higher resolution images surfaced. The details were sharper now. Clear enough to erase doubt, but not clear enough to answer the only question that mattered: why? The necklace wasn't just similar. It was identical down to the smallest imperfection.